So, there's a lot to be said about some of the battles that we face, but, I think about what needs to be done to preserve freedom in Florida and throughout the country. I am reminded of an anecdote from Judge Robert Bork, who was a great professor at Yale Law School, was a fantastic judge, should have been on the U.S. Supreme Court. And he said one way to save America is to simply close Yale Law School. And for what I've seen throughout the recent years, I mean, there may be some to it, but I do commend you for fighting back against a very difficult tide. Because I think the leftism you see at Yale, particularly, I would say in the post-2020, the BLM, everything that happened after that, has been really, really negative in terms of its ferocity, in terms of its really disregard for traditional notions of free speech. And these are people, if you don't toe the line, they want to destroy you. So when you're stepping up in an environment like that and you're willing to speak the truth, and there may be some cost to that, you should be commended for that. So thank you for what you're doing. Thank you for fighting the fight on hostile terrain. I'm often asked, what are you doing and how do you approach everything? There's a lot of different things. I mean, there's certain things I just got to do to keep my state running. I got to respond to disasters and emergencies, all these things. But in terms of where I want to take us in terms of philosophy and what principles I want to see reflected in the policies that govern my people, the thing that motivates me is, I want to beat the left across the board. I don't want to give them an inch on everything. I have not seen any institution that has succumbed to leftism succeed. In fact, they're corrupted to the core when that happens. So as a leader now, you have to understand it's not just about what government does. That's a huge part of it, don't get me wrong. And in Florida, I'm proud to say we have the lowest number of state employees per capita in the United States of America. We have the lowest debt per capita. We have no income tax. Since I've been governor, we've paid off 36% of the state's debt from 1840s to the present. And so we do it right. We limit government, and that's really, really important. But it's not enough, because the left has captured so many institutions in our society that if you say, hey, all I'm going to do is make sure I cut taxes and look after spending and then don't do anything else, the left will win the way things are in American society now. So for example, we've taken on the universities in the state of Florida. If you are somebody that is at a commencement ceremony and you're screaming and yelling and shouting down the speaker, we hold you accountable for that conduct. You have a right to your opinions. You don't have a right to exercise bad behavior. So we have actually withheld people's degrees because they violated code of conduct. And guess what? The minute you start to see consequences, the minute the inmates know they don't run the asylum, they start to behave much better. And that's how it should be in every university around this country.